There, I'm unmuted. Oh, I should have checked your levels. So go say something really quick. Okay, I'm gonna bump you up a little bit on my end here. Okay, we should be good.
Nice.
And there. All right. Boy, I have not developed an intro for these yet, but hello, SSL. It's Rich, and I am joined this week by Slothfacekilla.
Uh,
Player is Edwin Vandersloth, I believe. Is that right? Did I get that right?
yep, that's me.
Yep. Let's see. Head of the PT department. And
Yep.
is there any other things? How about I'll just like if you have anything else you want to introduce yourself as or whatever, go right ahead.
Uh, I mean, I used to be a banker in the league, but I'm no longer. I think now it's just PT head, and I feel like I'm my team's like resident old guy on the team because I think my player is from like season three or whatever it is, really early on. So he's on his last legs here.
Okay, that was something I definitely wanted to find out is because I have my frame of reference for this league so far is almost nothing. So I was looking at your player trying to like figure out, oh, is this a how like what stage of his career is he in? And like I have no frame of reference, so I just look at a 1300 TBE number and I'm like, okay, huh? I have no idea.
I, I so this is gonna sound weird since I've been in the league for so long, but I'm not entirely sure exactly. I think, he's starting to slow down a little bit. He doesn't have max pace and max acceleration. Um, and I think, the season one guys probably started retiring like a season or two ago, like the ones that were like really earning. So I'm guessing I probably have like two or three more seasons of soccer left in Edwin here, but I'm not entirely sure. I thought I was going to already be done at this point, honestly, but
Mhm.
Buenos Aires keeps signing me, so I keep coming back.
So you said you started what season three? Was that right?
I think it was season three. I don't know for sure. It was either like two, three, or four, but I want to say it
Okay,
was three. It was pretty early on, but not right at the start.
sure. Okay, so what does that look like in like real life term? Like how long is that?
Oh gosh, that is a fantastic question. Um,
I was curious
how
because
long?
I don't know how standardized and I'm assuming it probably has changed as well since the league is relatively young and things like that tend to change early on. So maybe the seasons aren't particularly standardized or weren't initially. I don't know.
Well, it's definitely the league has changed a bit. The when I joined, there wasn't an academy.
Mhm.
The minors and majors teams were separate because I got drafted directly to a minors team, and then I had to get drafted to a majors team after that. Um, I was just poking back into the Discord here, and it looks like I sent my first message uh, at the end of 2021. So yeah, a lot longer. Actually, I thought it was. We're
Okay,
coming up on almost 3 years
close
of
to three.
Edwin
Yeah,
Vandersloot here.
so that put
Uh,
it roughly, let's say five a year, 5 seasons a year ish.
yeah,
It's
but
like
I
pretty
mean that
rough, but
sounds about right. Yeah. I know we had, I think once, maybe twice, we did like an off-season sort of like World Cup um, tournament that I think kind of pushed off-season longer than it usually is. So I think SSL is like a little, sort of fluid compared to say like an SHL when it comes to like off-season and stuff like that.
mhm. Um, so what is your relationship with soccer? I guess. Um,
Ooh, I can't say I know the game very well. Probably my biggest exposure was when I was in college. The guys I was randomly like living with were soccer fans, so I kind of like watched a little bit with them. I never got into it too much. I've dabbled a little bit of playing Football Manager, but it's kind of like overwhelming for me.
Mhm.
Um, but I
Same.
just knew that the like visual sim was good, and I like sim leagues, so I was like, hey, might as well try it. And I really enjoyed watching the sim league sims there. And so I pretty much don't watch any actual soccer in my life, but I try and watch all the SSL's streams. So yeah, that's about my relationship with soccer, is mostly sim league related.
I love that. I love that. Yes, the Football Manager is like everything I wish FHM was. It's like the stuff that I feel like would be. It's not. This is not an SHL podcast. I can't get into that. But, but yeah, very similar. I guess. I mean, I watch. Let's say World Cup is like just about the only soccer I watch ever. World Cup and Olympics, I guess. Yeah. Um, and I played a little bit in high school, but wasn't particularly serious about it.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
pretty
Yeah, I
pretty similar.
dabbled in intramural in college too, but I think
Okay.
they ended up like sticking me back in goalie because they're like, this guy has no idea what he's doing. So yeah, don't wander around.
Nice. All right, so this was kind of just like another sim league. Did you enter it? Like, what were your expectations entering? I guess was it something you were like excited for, or was it just like, hey, let's give this a try, see what happens, kind of thing?
It was more of like a let's give it a try, see how it happens. I knew it was sort of kind of being like put forward as like a more casual league. You don't have to write crazy amounts of PTs or do you know, multiple, I don't know, championship weeks, things like that. So that was definitely appealing. So I was like, oh, I'll join, see how it goes, just kind of um, take it easy and everything. Who knows if I'll even stick with it. And yeah, I just ended up enjoying it so much that I was like, man, I'm going to start taking jobs just because, it's tough to get people to take jobs in the league and I want the league to keep going. So it kind of evolved from the, like wait and see and just keep it casual. And now I'm like pretty invested in keeping the league going just because it's a lot of fun.
Nice, nice, yeah. It's been pretty nice so far. I'm still like extremely new, but yeah, it's been good. I have not picked up a ton of the Sims yet. But the let's see, I've watched I think one, maybe two, yeah, one and a half. Let's call it one and a half. But yeah, it's viewing experience is excellent. I have not yet watched one with commentary, which I'm excited for. Um, but I'm
Yeah.
saving that for I've got Metafiction lined up. I haven't actually spoken with them yet, but they filled out my little form, and so I'm
Oh, that's
really
awesome.
excited to talk to them. And leading up to that, I'm going to watch a little bit of the commentary and get a feel for it. And I'm excited because I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy how good the commentators are in this league, and it really adds a lot to the viewing experience. So,
Mm.
the fact that these people take their time out of
Yes.
their days to do commentary, I do really respect it and I really appreciate it.
Yep. I like that. I guess I don't fully understand how they're doing the simming behind the scenes, but it feels like it's structured in such a way that that works well, whatever they have going on, which I appreciate. Because the commentary, I feel
Yeah,
like, yeah, could add quite a bit if it's well done, if it's prepared. Great, love it, can't wait.
yeah, they definitely do a good job with it. I honestly have no idea what system they have, but I will say, even if we are like sort of, in need of job holders, the people behind the scenes that are like doing their jobs in the SSL are really good. I just really appreciate it. It's a lot of people putting in a lot of time for it. So yeah,
Nice. All right, let's talk a little bit about your player. I've
yeah,
got
sure.
a little bit of curiosity, just kind of like, all right, to begin with, um, right attacking midfielder. Here's a good question, I guess. Was the reroll a part of the league yet when you joined?
I don't. If it was, I didn't use it. I think I was pretty ignorant when I came into the league, and I don't think I was aware about the reroll. But even from the hop. when I got in there, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the sim. And so I've just been taking, basically build pointers from everybody all along the way. So I think I'm pretty fortunate that I didn't need a reroll or anything like that.
Okay.
Because yeah, I probably would have been just as lost in my reroll.
Okay. Yeah. So this was your then initial position that you built as right attacking mid with the central attacking and then central midfielder as your secondaries.
Yeah, I think I came in with the right attacking mid as my primary, and um I think center mid was my only other secondary, and then once I had gained some money through contract, I think my team asked me to pick up the center attacking mid. I guess whatever our roster construction, it just worked better for us then because I think I was playing out of position, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Football Manager like kind of like nerfs your guy a decent amount if he's playing out of position. So
Hmm.
um, definitely had to pay that extra money there. But yeah, no, Edwin's kind of evolved, I would say, about halfway through his career. He picked up some more positions. He learned to kick with his other foot, things like that. So yeah, he's definitely evolved since how he originally.
Um. So really quickly looking at your build, just broadly, like I'm not ultra familiar with the Football Manager attributes, but it seems pretty obvious that he's a quite balanced kind of setup you got going on.
Yes.
Lots of
Yeah.
13s.
I'm not sure if it's like the league wide meta to keep things, 13 and above, but
Okay.
when I started my player, my whole thing was like, I don't know the game very well, and I just want him to be a dude that makes really long hit passes and sets other guys up. Um, so I tried to build my guy like that. I think my initial build was just really bad. I spread my TP out like on everything, and I had stuff that just wasn't necessary. Um, and so as my teams were helping me build, it seemed like they were kind of getting me into more of a scoring role as opposed to like that initial, like I'm just going to be the passing assist guy. And I think once the team kind of wanted me to play a little bit of a scoring role as well, that's when my build just started getting really well rounded.
Hmm.
Um, just trying to be good at everything. Because I'm guessing that a central like attacking role, you kind of got to do a little bit of everything. In soccer, that's like the sense I get. So just don't want to be deficient anywhere, I guess.
Sure, sure. What? So I'm seeing you're at 1300 TP now. Um, at what? I guess. I again such a lack of familiarity with the league. How? I guess deep into regression are you at this point?
I am pretty deep into regression at this point. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's going to be any season one guys around. There might be a few season two people, but I'm pretty sure my guy is like coming up against that wall. Like where he's not going to be too useful in the next season or two here.
Okay. Some,
'Cause
from my
you can see in the
perspective,
graph there. I think I lost like 400 something TPE
right.
last time.
I wasn't exactly sure. So this dip represents just this previous off season. Is that right?
Yeah, that's got to be it right there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's substantial. That's 16 to a little 12. Okay. Yeah. 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 It's weird to because like to me at this stage where I'm at, 1300 seems like a lot. Um, that's kind of funny to me thinking about it like that because I'm sitting at like four I don't know 430 or something like that. Um, and that's like oh it feels it feels a long way off. Um, so it's
Yeah, I
kind of
think
funny.
that's why the academy got instituted, just because you got to have so much TP just to kind of keep up with everybody.
Mm.
Um, and so yeah, I'm honestly kind of surprised that my guy still has like 1300 TP, and it doesn't feel like it should be that much. But I guess in the scheme of the league, he's probably getting pretty low there as far as a majors team is concerned.
I figure if you're or dropping 400s last off season, I assume it's percentage based. That's probably going to be a similar number next season if they're depending on the scaling, obviously. But that's going to be yeah, that's significant. if you're losing that kind of TPE again. And the gain, the it looks like from the curve that you don't gain a ton throughout the season. It's kind of like a steady, you know, pretty steady earning throughout the season, and then yeah, so
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, I've been pretty lucky that I've had a job for a lot of my time in
mm,
SSL, so I can buy the training to get more TP and try and hang in there a little longer. Um, but yeah, I mean, just talking with you here and looking at the graph, I have a feeling like I maybe have one, maybe two seasons left in me. Because yeah, that regression percentage is going to really be getting them down. I'm guessing below 1,000. My next one there.
so with that in mind, what you have a recreate plan already, or
Uh, I'm definitely gonna recreate. I'm planning on that, and I'm really excited about it. It probably stems from my lack of soccer knowledge, but I have like zero idea what I want to create as.
yeah,
I'm thinking maybe I'll like do some sort of defensive position just because Vandersloot kind of turned into like a scoring type guy. And I like to kind of mix it up and not go with the same sort of player over and over. So probably leaning towards something more defensive this time
I think that's the great thing about the reroll being available is I had a similar kind of moment when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to build initially, and I don't know. At some point, I just had this realization that it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter at all. Um, and for somebody like me who is planning to essentially like switch to whatever my team needs, yeah, it makes it really really easy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the type of league SSL is, we got to be more like user friendly like that and try and draw in people that may not know the game or sim as well as others. Probably the entire reason why I'm still in the league. So yeah, just stuff like the reroll, I think it's a really good idea just to bring people in the fold and make sure that their player is going to be actually useful once they get to the majors there.
Yeah, yeah. On top of that, you got the the number of different positions there are as well. It's like it's just it's just tricky,
Yes.
tricky.
Yeah, it can be pretty overwhelming.
So tell me about the PT department. I guess. What hmm, what do you? So I'm so used to the SHL system of like the PTs are structured in like here's what the PT is for this week, right?
Mhm.
Um, whereas here it's kind of just like your weekly PT is just kind of whatever people want to do. So what like is most of what you do grading? Is like I guess I'm not really sure. And this isn't like meant as like a slight.
No, no.
I don't know what's the difference. I guess.
So, no, that's actually a great question. So I joined the PT team before we had the portal. And so for these weekly PTs, they all had their own, like, there's a podcast section, an article section, all that on the forums. And all people had to do was link directly to the article they wrote or the podcast they posted in their update. And it was kind of on the updater to take a look and just be like, oh, yep, they did it this week, so that counts, getting the TPE. Um, so basically all I was involved in was predictions. Um, and that has kind of actually carried over to the portal as well. Because we obviously were losing updaters and losing some jobs and stuff like that, the portal. So some of the updaters actually migrated over to the PT team. A group of them are the ones that go through and approve everything in that weekly PT thread and give you the TP there. And my realm is just pretty much I am like posting and coming up with all the predictions, season predictions, and then each weekly ones, and then I'm in charge of also grading all those and getting all the TPE out. So um, I don't touch anything with the weekly predictions. We even have somebody in the department that specifically posts the thread each week. so I don't have to, and so I'm just pretty much all focused on predictions.
Okay, cool. Do you have a hand in things like the career tasks, or I mean, those are like obviously, I don't know that there's a whole lot you have to do outside of grading them, verifying them, that kind of thing. But like, yeah, is there anything that needs to be done with those on your end?
I personally don't. We hired a really good worker into the PT team that is in charge of those. I think he goes in once or twice a week, just kind of scopes out what's been updated, checks them over, grades them, lets the user know that they've been graded. So yeah, we've done a pretty good job of sort of like compartmentalizing everything in the PT sort of realm so that um, people can still kind of look at the league as casual, and not be sort of overburdened with having to do like multiple PT sort of like postings or anything like that. So yeah, we try and keep it segmented, and so somebody doesn't isn't going to get overwhelmed with all the work.
Nice, nice. I like that. I like that. Yeah, it's feels like things are. Wait, how do I? I mean, yeah, it just feels like I know there were a lot of like job openings posted pretty recently, um, but it still feels like I don't know, everything's just kind of runs smoothly. Like it's kind of I don't know figured out uh, in a sense. Like things are just kind of like yeah, um, like a well-oiled engine kind of thing of like everything just plugging along, which is
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it all comes from the commissioner of Canadice or Canadice.
Canadice. Yeah,
I
that's
realize
what
I
I said
never
when I was
said that
talking to
out
him, and he
loud.
didn't correct me. So
Okay, perfect. Um, I mean, he just puts in so much time. I don't think the league would still be around without him. Um, and there's like a few other people, like Rashford wore a lot of hats for a while and stuff like that. He's awesome keeping the league going. Um, so it's definitely people have things behind the scenes running really well. I will say, I do worry about the burnout factor with people. Um, don't want somebody to take on too much to the point where they're like, "Oh, I just can't do any of it anymore." So I'm hoping that we can fill some of those jobs, those job openings. So lighten the load for some people. But yeah, the way people have it going right now, I'm just very impressed with like the board of directors and all that because they do a great job running the league.
yeah, it feels very much that way. Again, I have so little like frame of reference for this league, but everything feels like it's yeah, like it's running well. Um,
Yeah.
well, I'm kind of we're hitting a pretty close to a half hour here. I don't want to keep you on the line for too long, and we're kind of I'm hitting a wall in terms of like things to talk to you about. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I was curious, like, I mean, it's a good sign that you're, taking people on and doing podcasts and stuff. Are you still, enjoying and excited about the league and all that?
So far, I'm trying not to get too far ahead of myself because I have struggled in the past with trying to do multiple leagues. I was like back when ISFL opened up, I was like real into that, and I was running that and SHL at the same time. And then at some point, I just fully ghosted the what was the NSFL back then, um, and like yeah, just never went back. And I so I'm trying not to like present myself in a way of like I'm a sure thing, or I don't know where this is gonna go with me yet.
For sure. Yeah.
So I'm trying to yeah, I'm trying to I don't know maybe downplay myself a little bit in that in those kind of in that regard. Like I just yeah
Okay.
can't make any promises. There's absolutely a possibility that I just stop one day. Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a healthy way to look at it. And you got to be realistic about this stuff sometimes. Just don't have the time for it. Something like that.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I'm very excited to get into the real league. The academy's okay, but it's a little bit weird. So I'm a little
Yeah.
anxious to get up to either a minor or I guess probably a minor, potentially a major team. I don't know how that exactly works in terms of like how frequently a player goes directly to a major team versus my assumption is most go to the minors and are there for at least a little bit, but again, no idea.
Yeah, I think most people are gonna do the stop in the minors at least for a season, but it
Hmm.
did seem like last couple draft classes there were like a handful of people that were going straight to the majors, just I guess based on whatever that team situation is.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that will be helpful. Um, the biggest roadblock now is I like I feel like I'm so disconnected from the league in terms of like knowing what teams are good, knowing who the players are, that kind of thing. I feel like I just don't know anything. So that's a
Mhm.
little bit challenging in my initial investment. Just because yeah, it's like it's all entirely foreign, and a lot of the users too, which is a little bit tricky as well. Like especially this draft class that I'm in there, I feel like there's a lot of people from like the ISFL maybe or maybe PBE that I don't know, but they seem to know a lot of each other. I'm feeling a little like feel a little lost there as well. So that's a little bit weird, but
Oh yeah, there's definitely the like PBE and ISFL sort of like cliques that made it over and stuff. A lot of crossover between the two leagues.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I have to confess, I honestly still feel like I don't know the league very well. You know, what teams are supposed to be good or the best players and everything. Because it is a little overwhelming overall, but I still just absolutely love the league and like watching the streams and stuff. So yeah, it almost gives a little bit more of excitement for the streams because I don't really know what to expect.
yeah, yeah. That's great. I like that. That's a good way to look at it. All right. I mean, I unless you got anything else, we can probably wrap it up.
uh, I don't think I have anything off my head. I do appreciate you bringing me on. Been sort of wanting to be on a rich podcast for a while from the SHL, so I really appreciate it.
Heck yeah, we'll have to see if we can make that happen over there too. Um, we'll
Yeah,
see.
dude,
We'll
I'm
see.
more than down. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Um, Before we head out, I'm gonna remind anybody that listens to this that if you are interested in joining me for a little chat about SSL, about your player, about whatever you want to talk about, or just to shoot the shit with me, I've got a little form. If you go onto the forum in my signature, there's a little link there you can click on. You fill out the form, or you can shoot me a DM on the forums or in Discord. Either any of those options are available. And yeah, we'll set something up in the near future. But I'd like to get a few more people. That'd be fun. And with
Yeah,
that,
definitely a good time.
yeah, yeah. No, it's the kind of thing where like it's just this is a weird thing. Sim leagues are a weird thing, and to be able to talk to people about it is like it's nice. Um, I'm a little bit more open to talking about my sim league stuff to people in real life. They just accept that I'm weird and I'm into weird stuff, and I force it upon them. But within the community, to be able to talk to people is awesome. And so, if you would like to do that, hit me up.
Hell yeah.
All right, yeah. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I had it's nice to be able to. You're a guy that like I've been in locker rooms with in on the SHL a bunch, and you're like one of the nicest people. It's ridiculous how nice you are. Um, and I've always wanted to talk with you, and I don't think I've ever really had a big opportunity to chat with you. So this was really nice.
Yeah, man. I've had a lot of fun. I really appreciate you having me on, and especially appreciate the kind words there.
Cool, cool. Yeah, well, we will. I'll catch you next week. Whoever's listening to this. All right.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Have a good night, dude.
Yeah, you too.